Okay, morning, folks. Welcome to briefing on Saturday the 27th. As you can probably guess, no flying today. So it's just a weather forecast that's interesting in what's happened over the last 24 hours. We've seen it coming for a few days and what it's going to be like today, but it was all about positioning and timing. And right up till sort of yesterday, it was looking like this low here was just a little bit further out into the North Sea, and the really strong damaging winds would be down the east of the country. And yesterday they were forecasting damaging winds all the way down the eastern coast of the UK. And just a little shift in the weather pattern means that really only Scotland and Northern England have been hit by the sort of 60-80 mile an hour winds. And now that this has moved slightly, the stronger winds are actually forecast to come down over the sort of centre of the country and out to the west. So looking at the forecast for today, the sort of gusty weather, really severe gusts are out to the west of us. Tomorrow, it all begins to calm down a little bit. This low pressure just moves out of the way, and we're stuck between these fronts here and the low pressure out to the east. So cold northerly wind, but the isobars certainly pulled apart, and it's looking a bit better. But this high pressure is subsiding now, and I think as we move into next week, we're going to start to see frontal areas coming across us and back to a more sort of westerly airflow, regular frontal systems going through. So upper winds today, well, actually Tafts versus Farnborough. Perhaps not quite as severe as first thought. The main bit really here is from midday onwards, 20 gusting, 36. Currently, the Lasham weather station's showing the gusts around 30. Out to the west, in places like Bristol, they're actually forecasting sort of 30 to 35 knot gusts. And this morning they've had sort of 40 knot gusts, so they're forecasting 38 knots there. So pretty windy, and you've got rain and drizzle at times all day as the frontal systems go through. So nothing inviting about the weather today, certainly for stepping outside. You can see on the 214 how down the eastern coast now the winds, although they're saying 35 to 55 here, they're still as strong out through the west as well, which wasn't going to be the forecast 24 hours ago. So upper winds still 50, 60 knots in most places for most of the day, but that'll drop off, I think, by the end of the day, and it'll be quite light for tomorrow. Gives you an idea of all these white bits on the sat pic are the intense areas of rain. They're just going to stream down over us all day. Off and on, it'll be raining, sometimes heavy. You can see that from the rainfall radar. Some quite bright colours on that, and we're certainly going to see some heavy rain today. That's the wind profile for today. We'll quickly look at the one for tomorrow in a minute. So yeah, those colours there, you can see 45 to 55 knots. This is 1,500 feet. So let's move that on to tomorrow, much, much lighter, back down to upper winds between 20, 25 around Lasham, perhaps windier in the east. And cloud amounts for tomorrow, you can see we're sat between the warm front out to the west and the remaining frontal systems out to the east of us and the low pressure. And 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock looks quite nice. So fresh northerly wind, nice sunny day, should be good for flying. Challenging on the airfield, I suspect, because the southern side of the airfield, southern end of the airfield that we'd probably end up being forced to operate from is going to be wet. So it'll be Jordan's decision, but I suspect it may be an aerotow only operation tomorrow, just to keep off the grass. Right, I'm not going to cover any airspace or anything like that. There's certainly no jet movements today. They wouldn't be able to get in this sort of strength crosswind. Nothing forecast, I think, till next week. So enjoy your day at home or day shopping or whatever you're going to do today, folks. There's not a lot going on at Lasham in terms of flying. Maybe some maintenance, but not a lot else. And hopefully you can enjoy something tomorrow.